Okay, so here's how I feel about the situation, right? And fair warning, I know it's people out there that's probably not gonna like what I'm about to say. I really don't care, because both of these women are double my age, and even, being younger than them, I'm not judging them, because they were, everybody matures differently. Have I ever had to fight over a guy? No. I told y'all that I fought for a lot of things, but fortunately, as a young woman in my mid-20s, I never have been approached over a guy. Never. Not even as a teenager. I'm very selfish. I'm the only child on both sides. I told you all before, I don't believe in sharing. That's number one. Okay, I've always been the type that even if I feel like a guy is getting too close to another female, I'm the type that I'll step back. Because I feel like, I'm just selfish as hell. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I told y'all I never had to share a room. I never had to share my food. I never had to share anything. I don't, even when I was in a relationship, I didn't even like to share my bed half the damn time, because I feel like he hogged the blankets too much for me. I don't even, I had to get used to sharing what's in my fridge. I wasn't used to nobody, how you fix lemonade and put it in a pitcher. I wasn't used to nobody touching my damn lemonade. I wasn't used to that, which my dudes told me you can't be like that. If he get a cup and pour some lemonade, big deal. I want all the lemonade. I want all the Kool-Aid. I don't want to share. Okay? I'm just not used to that. I can have a family size bag of chips. Don't grab no napkin. What you grabbing a napkin for? Okay? Every single chip. I want every single chip in here. Okay? My ex called it the only child syndrome. But the thing is, I'm just gonna let y'all know, I feel they both were wrong. They both were wrong. I know people were saying, the one that came to the house was more wrong than the other one. They both were equally wrong. But the guy, as we all know, he ain't shit. Right? He's a good example of why I do not like thugs. Y'all, when I tell y'all, nothing about a thug gets my drawers wet. Nothing. I mean, nothing about thug life gets me moist at all. Like, even as a teenager, I never liked the bad boys. I never liked them. The loud ones, I don't even remember, like, I don't have it, no kick it for you. None. Zero. None. Like, I never been into that. I don't want to hear about, you making your runs or whatever y'all call it when y'all doing what y'all ain't got no business doing. Like, it's nothing about it. Like, I can't tell y'all now, that's why I said I'm not judging them, because I have been in a lot of fights. I never heard that from y'all. Win, lose, or draw. But the thing is, hold on. I'm about to go upstairs because I got to put my ice cream in the freezer. Yeah, so hold on. Shit. I forgot I got homework tonight. Damn. Okay, as we all know, it was effed up for Sabrina to throw that stuff in that lady's face, right? But the thing is, we not going to sit here and act like that lady went wrong for coming to that girl house. We not going to do that. We not going to do that. We not going to do that. I don't care whether she was on the lawn. I don't care if she was on the sidewalk. I don't care if she was at the front door. I don't care where she was at. It was not okay for her to come around there, no way. Now, I know they saying throughout the years, she has said what she was just riding through. I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to say this. Now, whether she was riding through, which I call cap, I believe that lady went around that girl's house. I believe she went around that lady's house, but she just got more than what she bargained for. She got more than what she thought she was going to receive. And I hate to say it, but that's why it just goes to show you have to be careful knocking on trouble's door. It is what it is. Because if you keep locking, and if it's true what Savannah said, you know, I believe there's some truth to it. But if it's true what Savannah said, I'm not going to say she was asking for what she received. But like the old saying goes, if you keep knocking on the devil's door, eventually somebody gonna answer. You know, I can't say I don't understand. I mean, like I told you, I never been in a situation like this, right? But the thing is, I've seen things play out like this, even in real life. I told y'all numerous times I had older cousins that were involved in gangs. And one of which, long story short, the guy that I told y'all about that she was involved with, I'm not going to get too much details because this was a high profile case. And even when, before they told me how I should not tell the people that, you know, they were my cousins, I told you all, I used to tell people back in the day that they were my cousins, not thinking anything of it. And every time I would tell people that, they'll be like, them not your cousins. No way. Because we chose two different paths. They chose the dope boys and all that other stuff. And I chose to go to school. So people never believed that, they be like, well, how they your cousins? How they your cousins? And I would say, well, actually my mother and their father are brother and sister. And they would say, oh, y'all real cousins. I don't do the play cousin shit. I don't do that. So, nonetheless, I remember one in particular, long story short, she was staying in a particular neighborhood and the girls would just be catty because of who her baby daddy was, and they would put lotion on her car, flatten her tires, and sometimes she would braid my hair and we may stop for, you pause in between and may run to the store, and when we would come out and they didn't mess with her car again, or back in the day before they started making the cars that, with the tanks, how you could close your own tank and ain't got to worry about nobody opening it. Back in the day before they started doing that, y'all remember the tanks where anybody could open your tank door, and they would put like sugar and flour in her tank. And y'all, she done ran through so many cars dealing with that dude. Like, they used to F with her all the time. And matter of fact, I think it really came to one of them. She caught the girl doing it. I think that's going to be a story time, but it's really not my story to tell. But I'll never forget that time she caught that girl messing with her car in the act. Y'all, she beat the brakes off that girl. Like, She beat the brakes off that girl. Like, punished her. But nonetheless, like they used to, like I remember one time when she had her first baby. And we were walking to the store. Y'all know I get off topic a lot. But anyway, we was walking to the store. And it was a girl and another girl. They was following us. But I was younger then. I wasn't more than like, I was still in middle school then. What was this? This was like, anyway. Damn. I forgot my ice cream in the freezer. I came upstairs, took me a shower. Or I did my homework, took me a shower. I laid right down. Shit. Put my ice cream in the freezer. Forgot my ice cream. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. I got a right to be tired. Y'all know I work 2 jobs and go to school. Y'all already know this. So I got a right to be tired, okay? I'm tired. Anyway. What I was talking about? Now, I know a lot of people were going in on Sabrina for saying that she was in the violence situation. I know YouTube funny about some of the words. Saying that was not technically. First of all, let's say this. We cannot tell nobody what they were in. Okay? Everybody has their own definitions of certain things. Of course, we all know about the book definitions of things, but we cannot say, well, that's not technically this and the third, because only we knew what she went through, right? But technically, if you really want to think about it, it was because he was manipulating her, he was using her. Violence did come out of the situation at some point. To be honest, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I don't see how she allowed herself to be used the way that she did. I'm just gonna be honest. But I'm not judging her, because it's been a lot of things that I have went through that I didn't realize until after the fact. Like, for example, shade that people threw and how people laughed and, played. Matter of fact, I got a workplace story time coming soon. And I didn't realize actually until maybe how long was it? It was a good little while. I didn't realize until, how people may keep, like, how people keep effing with you, and then you call yourself like trying to tell your supervisor to, like, so she could step in and stuff like that. And I didn't realize until way later on that the supervisor was happy that they were doing that. And matter of fact, I was the last person to find out. So, when I was talking to my deuce about it and I was talking to my good Judy about it, they both said, we told you, we tried to tell you the lady didn't care, but you just kept, so that's just a good example about how, I'm not judging her for not peeping all the signs, because sometimes in life, things could be right in your face and everybody else could see it, but you. You see what I'm saying? So, I can't judge, because damn, I mean, when I look back on it, my dude was like, I tried to tell you, I've been telling you this for months. I don't know where I don't know where you didn't see it. How didn't you pick up on it? Everybody can see it but you. So that's going to be a story time within itself. That's why I say I'm not judging her, because sometimes stuff could be right in our face and we still don't see it. That's life. But nonetheless, I saw somebody in the comments saying, who would y'all want to be, Sabrina or Savannah? And, in my head, I said to myself, neither. I'm going to just be honest. Because, yeah, neither. And I'm going to leave that there. I'm not even going to dissect why I would never want to be neither. I just think it's very unfortunate. Because when you really think about it, the kids, they were the only people that suffered in the end. When you really think about it, they were the only ones that suffered in the end. And I mean, all parties suffered, but the kids suffered more than anybody. Because I'm sure that situation definitely took a toll on Sabrina, of course, and it probably still takes a toll on her to this day. And Savannah, I'm sure it still takes a toll on her, because now she's a felon. She spoke about how, the relationship with her son has been affected. Her health hasn't been that good. To be honest, y'all, I believe did I tell y'all, I believe the ex-boyfriend when he said that, when she spoke on how he told the judge that she said, this is for you, bitch. To be honest, I really do think that she said that. I do. I feel that she was so annoyed. She was tired of them effing with her. She was tired of them coming around that house picking with her. You cannot tell me that you did not get tired of them effing with you. And you did not think of a way to really hurt that girl. I can't, even if it's so much of you just wanted her, even if it's so much of you just saying, you know what, thinking to yourself, you know what, I just want to burn her eyes, or something like that. You cannot tell me that it never crossed your mind what you can do to hurt her. Because I've been there before. You get tired of people. You do. You really do get tired of people. You cannot tell me you did not get tired of that girl effing with you. And this is coming from a person that had somebody come around my people crib looking for me a couple of times. So I can tell, I know that frustration. When I speak on things to y'all, I give y'all examples. And if I can't relate, just like the example I gave with my older cousins, if I can't relate to a specific topic, I try to, give you an example of somebody I knew personally, or I never drop names, but, like the cousin situation, that hit close to home because I was actually there when some of the things would happen. You see what I'm saying? So I can speak on stuff like that because I have seen it, but I can also speak on somebody coming around my people crib looking for me. That I told y'all that's gonna be another story time. I got tons of story times because I told y'all I not grew up fast, but I knew how hateful people could be in life very early, if that makes sense. And it wasn't about a guy. It was about looking back, now that I'm older, it was a lot of instigating going on. That's why you can never trust the bitches in the middle. That's going to be a story time for another day. And this person was somebody that, I gave my hand-me-downs to, and, it was just a mess. But the only difference between our situation and that situation with Sabrina and Savannah, the main difference is, for one thing, it wasn't about a guy. It was just, females beefing, But the thing is, like I told you all, I'm the only child. Versus this person had a lot of sisters and brothers, a lot of people, that had her back, and for the life of me, like I told her, these people got your back. but ain't nobody had no clothes, no shoes. It's been times she came around my people's house and she hadn't ate. And my dukes, being my duke, she felt bad and gave her a plate and stuff like that. Like, I just got tired of her, getting around other people, acting funny towards me, acting like she couldn't speak and stuff like that. And the same people, you know what I'm saying? Well, nobody foughting at her ass. And one time I just really blasted her. I said, you got some nerve, keep treating me like that. And I'm the one that felt bad for your ass. You know what I'm saying? Her mama had 9 kids. 9 kids. Okay, she would tell me all her business. How her mama would spend all the food stamp money when she would sell her food stamps to people, and go buy liquor, with the money and stuff like that when her and her sisters and brothers didn't eat and stuff. And I would feel bad for her and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Then she would get around other people and she would make fun of me and stuff like that. And I'm saying, I got tired of that shit. So that's going to be a story time for another day. And the difference between me and Savannah, that girl only came around there by herself. If old girl had came around my people's house by herself, I would have came outside. But no, she came around my people's crib with 3 carloads of bitches. I won't coming outside because I can't beat the world. I'll tell anybody that. I can't beat the world. Plain and simple. I'm not about to drive myself to an early grave to prove a point to nobody. Forget that mess. It's not worth it to me. It's not worth it. And that same person that I told y'all about, the last time I seen her was on a mugshot. I'm telling y'all, a lot of these bitches that I be telling y'all about in my story times, they are where they are. Okay? And the time before that, she was on social media fussing with a guy about Pampers for the baby. Okay? So I'm not going to say I wouldn't have did anything different than what Savannah did if old girl came around there dolo. She will always anytime she will approach me would be with a whole group of bitches. But when I wanted to fight one-on-one, she ain't want to. Bitches ain't really want to fight one-on-one back in the day. Not with me, at least. They always had to have somebody with them when it came to me. And she was bigger than me. I'm 5'3". She was 5'10". This was a big bitch. She still didn't want to fight me one-on-one. But nonetheless, I can relate, but I can't relate, if that makes sense. But I'm not going to say that Savannah is a horrible person for mixing that mixture like that. I'm not going to say she wasn't. I'm not going to say she is. Because like I said, you cannot convince me. I told y'all once before I got to fighting, and I never hid the fact from y'all that I stabbed somebody up before. I never hid that from y'all. When old girl came around my crib, when she first acted like she was going to come dolo, I had a pocket knife waiting in my pocket for her. I ain't going to lie to you. But see, my so-called uncle saw it hanging out my pocket and he grabbed it. He knew what time it was. That wasn't long. Was that before or after I had stabbed that other girl? That was before. And I wasn't scared to use it. I got tired of this bitch. She only wanted to fight when it was a group of bitches. I got tired of her. That's why I say you do get tired of people effing with you. You do. That's why I still say I believe Savannah did it on purpose. I do. I really do, because I've been there. Not about a guy, but I know how it feels for somebody to keep coming around your crib looking for trouble. Mind you, when this shit happened, this was when we was in high school. But as an adult, I didn't have that happen. But we was in, I want to say, we was like in the 10th grade. Because I was still staying with my dudes then. Well, of course, I was a child. But, we was in the 10th grade. So, because when I stabbed that girl up that time, that was like when I was in the 12th grade. So, yeah, it was already within me. So, that's why I say I believe Savannah did it on purpose. Because you do get tired of people effing with you. Now, of course, what happened to Miss Greenlee was very unfortunate. But we not going to sit here and act like she didn't come to that lady house. We not going to do that. We not going to do that. We not going to do that. Like, I found it hard to believe. Somebody was saying in the comments that she said on an interview, she was just riding by in the neighborhood because she missed a turn. Man, look, miss me with the bullshit. You know what I think it is? I never heard Miss Greenlee say that out of her mouth. But to be honest, I feel like that's cap. I feel like that's cap. Out of all the streets you turn on, you turn on her street. Out of all the streets in the world, you just turn in front of her on her street and just magically happen to pop in front of her house, the girl house of a guy, the girl house of the girlfriend. It sounds so ghetto. The guy that you dealing with, girlfriend house, like it's out of all the streets in the world, you just magically pop on her street. Like I think it don't I don't think it sounds right. It sounds crazy to me. I'm gonna just be honest. It sounds crazy to me, you know. But the thing is, like I told y'all, I think Savannah did it on purpose. I just told you, you know. Ain't no you had Drano in yo. That sound like some shit you thought of throughout the years. To be honest, that sound like some shit you just thought of. Well, I'm gonna tell him I just put Drano in and I just magically mixed the mixture that was low key, you know what I'm saying, one of the most dangerous mixtures on earth. And I just never knew that it would just do all that. You never thought of, you mean to tell me this girl been taunting you for the longest and you never thought of ways to hurt her? I think that's bullshit. I really do. I think that's human nature. I think it's human nature to say, you know what, I'm tired of this bitch and I'm going to teach her a lesson. Now, when Savannah spoke on how she didn't think that the charges were going to be that severe, I believe that. I believe that. But you're not about to convince me in a million years that you just mix something that, I mean, come on now. You said you had a little bit of Drano left and you poured it in a cup. I mean, everybody's different, but why not just screw the top on and put it back under the cabinet? Why not do that? And then if you get another container, you know, if you got a little space in that container, why not just pour the rest with the other Drano if you get some more? You see what I'm saying? Or hell, just screw the top on real tight and keep it under the cabinet. Well, she said she kept all her cleaning supplies on top of the cabinet, but I mean, was your countertop jam packed? Like it was no other place for you to leave it? Mighty funny you just put it in a cup. The shit didn't sound right to me. Maybe it's just me. The shit didn't sound right. And then you just automatically thought of putting bleach in it. I told y'all when my mama was pregnant with me, I told y'all how she got to fighting. The girl came around the house. This wasn't by the guy. They were just beefing. She was pregnant with me. The girl came around the house. Matter of fact, she was very pregnant with me. Like, pretty soon I was coming. You see what I'm saying? And the girl came around there. She said she was going to come around my mama with my dude's house. And everybody came outside because she was saying she was going to bring her brothers. So, of course, my uncles and them came outside. Because if you saying you're going to bring your brothers, then, of course, they going to step too. And my mama told them, don't worry about this bitch. She by herself, you know. Because like I told y'all, it's different when they bring people with them. But see, I'm the only child. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, when she brought all them people, like, you know, I'm one person. But nonetheless, long story short, she knocked on Trouble's door, and my mama had, you know, by her giving my mama a heads up what she was gonna come around there and do to her, she peed in a cup and threw it in the lady's face. She had pee waiting on her. And she threw it right in the lady's face. They went to court. The judge threw it out. The judge said it was mutual combat. The lady thought the whole time it was bleach, and the whole time it was piss. You see what I'm saying? The first thing the judge told her, you trying to fight a pregnant lady. You never tell people, you never give people a chance to be waiting for you. You never give people a chance to be waiting for you. But unfortunately, that's exactly what Sabrina did. She gave Savannah a chance to be waiting for her. And see, the thing is, a lot of the times, like I told y'all how I had a knife in my pocket waiting on that girl until my so-called uncle had pulled it out of my pocket. And I never got that knife back to this day because he probably knew I wasn't scared to use it. Obviously, I won't. You see what I'm saying? I told y'all about the situation when I was going to the alternative school. I haven't gave y'all that story time just yet. But that's that same girl I told y'all about, the bully that I had to stab up, that was arrested on the homicide charges. Yeah, that's the same girl. The one that I had to stab in high school. That's the same girl. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, unfortunately, Miss Greenlee gave Savannah a chance to be waiting on her. And that's why I say I believe she had that mixture waiting on her ass. It's no way you gonna convince me that, this girl keep popping up, taunting you, picking with you, that you didn't get tired of that shit. I can't stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough. Even if it's so much of, I'm gonna make this bitch remember this day. So, she come around my house this time, I bet she won't come around nobody else's house. And I'm going to tell y'all this, and y'all can hate it or not. I'm going to tell y'all something. I believe that situation calmed Miss Greenlee down. I believe that situation calmed her down. I really do. I believe it calmed her down. I really, really do. And unfortunately, it takes sometimes in life, it takes things like that to happen for people to realize, you know what, maybe this is somebody I don't need to be dealing with. Maybe this is somebody I don't need to be involved with. And I bet you, I could be wrong, but I bet you after that situation, he ain't deal with her no more. Or she ain't deal with him no more. Whatever the case may be, where their roads divided, they didn't deal with each other no more. I hate to say it, but I believe that situation was the only reason, if she stopped dealing with him, was the only reason she did. I believe so. I really do. And I'm going to tell you something else. When he told that judge how Savannah came outside saying, "This is for you, bitch." The reason why I think he snitched, because I'm going to say he snitched because I believe it. Anton, whatever his name is, he won't shit. He probably still ain't shit to this day. But let me tell you something. The thing is, he snitched because that guilt was eating him up. He felt like these two women fighting, and if it weren't for me, they would not be fighting. I really do believe he felt that way. And that shit was eating him up. So he said, you know what, I'm going to make it right. I'm going to tell. Because, he felt like Savannah scarred that lady for life, which she did. She did. And I'm going to say something else, and I'm going to wrap this video up. Savannah deserved every single one of those years. Every single one of them. Let me tell y'all something, right? Even for me, when I stabbed that girl up that time, that was self-defense. But let me tell you something. I'm no different than Savannah. In some ways, but some ways we different. Because like I told you, I never had to go through nothing like that. But in some ways, I'm not any different because I pick up weapons too. I have told y'all that, you know, I have learned throughout the years in fighting. Ain't no rules. You know, because when I used to play by the book, I ain't gonna lie to you, way back in the day, like elementary school, people used to get the best of me back in elementary school. So I had to learn throughout the years of fighting, baby, you better do what you gotta do. You better do what you gotta do, because you better believe when I would say, well, you waited till I turned my back, or you waited until, you know, I had turned this way or whatever, or you had me by the hair, you know, and bitches would say, well, ain't no rules in fighting. So I had to learn throughout the years it ain't no rules in fighting. So throughout the years, I would pick up weapons, whether it was a chair, a knife, whatever I had to do to gain power. Because it, like, hell, I realized bitches weren't playing with fair. So, hey, we ain't playing fair. We ain't playing fair. Let's get it. Let's get it. You know, but, you know, as we all say, well, ain't no rules in fighting. But, you know, in the eyes of the law, yes, it is. Yes, it is. You can act like it ain't if you want to. So that's why I say I'm not going to say that Savannah is a bad person, because when you mad, you do shit. I told y'all about the situation in the Chinese restaurant early this year, where the big black N-word had spit in my face. And I spit back at him. Picked up chairs, threw it at him. Caught him in traffic and backed my vehicle into his twice. You know, I thank God, because I could have went to jail. If it was a police nearby, he could have arrested me. And looking back on it, that if a police officer had saw that, he could lie and act like the Chinese restaurant situation didn't even happen. He could act that way, and then I could have been charged. When I ran out that Chinese restaurant behind him because he pulled off that parking lot. You want to know why he pulled off? Because he knew that shit was wrong. He knew that shit was wrong, and he was a coward. He was a coward. And that's part of the reason why I tell y'all I don't march for black men. Because truth be told, not all of them, but a lot of them ain't shit. Anton included. A lot of them ain't shit. And the truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. I didn't say all of them, but a lot of them are. A lot of them. And a lot of them get what they deserve. I'm just going to put it out there. It is what it is. It is what it is. But as for me, I'm the type of person that I can take accountability for my actions. That's why I say I'm no different than Savannah. When I get mad, it's up. And it's stuck. It takes a hot head to know a hot head. Even when she was in an interview with Tasha K, I caught her a couple of times catching an attitude. Which Tasha K will ruffle anybody, fellas, truth be told. If you really listen to her a couple of times, she low-key checked Tasha, like, get your facts straight. When she would say something, and Tasha was like, well, basically you're saying, and then she'd be like, no, as I told you before. You know, she was checking the F out of her. She was keeping Tasha in line. If you really look at the interview, she was keeping that lady in line. Okay? And we're not going to sit here and act like Savannah no slouch. We're not going to sit here and act like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why I say I'm no different than her. But the thing is, I'm working on that. I've learned in life, you know, I try to keep people away from me that even take me there. To the point where I'm backing up my vehicle to yours, picking up chairs, down with the knife play. You know, that's all shit that can end badly. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I try to stay away from people that take me there. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And in the words of Savannah, remember how she said she never thought that she would get that much time? You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you think you're going to go in there to get a slap on the wrist, and you get a rude awakening. You know, so that's why I try to keep people away from me like that, because I'm gonna let you know, I'm going to do what I got to do.
I'm going to do what I got to do, baby. You know, it is what it is. So I'd just rather stay away from you. You think you won? You think you got the last laugh? Going on. Because just like I did that N-word in traffic, I know me. I've been hopped in my truck and track you down like a lion to his prey. I am a Leo. I am the lion. Okay, so I'm a Leo, but I'm close to that Cancer line. And you know, Cancers are very in tune with their emotions. They are very emotional people. Plus, you put that Leo spirit with it, baby. When I see something, it's like I gotta go get it. Okay? But nonetheless, I'm about to sum this up, then I'm gonna go. Now, one thing for certain and two things for sure. One thing we gotta hand Miss Greenlee, the bitch got guts. I'm gonna tell you something. Because anytime you can come to a woman's house by yourself, dolo, by yourself, the bitch got guts. Okay, because I tell you, when that girl came around my house sometime, she came around my house twice. Both times, the first time it was like with 6 bitches. The second time she came around there with 2 carloads of bitches. 2 carloads of bitches, okay? And the thing is, whenever I would want to fight her dolo in school, let's say, because I would always try to like get her in history class. I would try to, because I knew she went with her friends and her sisters and them, and she never wanted to fight. She would always say, I'm being a bigger person, I'm gonna let it go. But then, you know, when I would get home, next thing you know, me and my bitch is on the way. You see what I'm saying? She would wait and she would go back. She would wait until she meet up with them, and she would tell them how when we was in, I'm gonna say the teacher name class, when we was in their class, you know, I wanted to fight her, or I would try to get her at my lunch block, and she never wanted to fight. She would always say, I ain't worried about her. I ain't worried about her. And then as soon as she get around her bitches in there, she want to fight. You see what I'm saying? But at least with Sabrina, you know, she came around your house dolo. To be honest, I don't even think it counts for the mixture. I mean, I can understand it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't understand why she did it. I told y'all I have been known to pull out weapons as well. So I'm not going to sit here and say I don't understand why she did that. I'm not going to say that. But I will say this. You know, I'm like this. If a person come at your house and it's just them, I feel like you can come out. But if it's with a whole group of bitches, I understand. Whenever I heard stories about a female not coming out when a whole group of girls came to their house and they was by themselves, I never say they a punk. I have heard a lot of stories like that. I never say that. I never say that. I have told y'all before, even with the Johnson Hernandez situation, 2 things for sure. It's 2 situations where I do understand a woman backing down from a battle. When you pregnant, like I told y'all with Jocelyn and Tommy from Love and Hip Hop. If you're pregnant, I understand, even if it's a 1-on-1. Okay, because if I was pregnant, I wouldn't be fighting. You can call me all the punks you want to. All the chickens, all the, you know, scary bitches you want to. I don't care. If I was pregnant, I wouldn't fight either. Say whatever you want to say. I'm not going to do nothing to jeopardize my pregnancy. Forget you. I told y'all, I'm not trying to go to jail or drive myself to an early grave to, you know, prove a point to nobody. That's the least of my worries. Now, if you do something to me, yeah, I'm going to retaliate, like the Chinese restaurant situation. You know, in that moment, I was pissed. Because how you going to spit in somebody's face because they said you skipped them in line? Really? Really? That's what you N-words are doing these days? Really? But, you know, it's that's why I say it's like with the Carlisha Hood situation. You know what I'm saying? Some of you N-words be deserving the fate that you get. It is what it is. But nonetheless, you know, to me, to be honest, it was a 101. It didn't cause for the acid, but, you know, everybody's different. But I'm not going to say she's a bad person. Like I said once before, I'm not going to say she was a bad person because of what she did. I'm not going to say that. But, nonetheless, it's just a crazy world that we live in. You know, everybody just stay safe. Just stay safe, you know. Just try to keep people away from you that even not just take you out of your character, that just put you in situations where you have to do stuff like that. Because like I said once before, I'm not going to say she's a bad person because of what she did. Because we all have a breaking point. We all have a line, and we expect people not to cross it. But of course, it's MFers in this world that get off to crossing people, that makes them laugh, that makes their day, that, you know, that puts bananas in their frosted flakes or whatever, how you say it. You know, it's people out here that get off on that. You know, they laugh at getting under people's skin. They, you know, like the bitch told me the other day, I love to see people make her mad. You see what I'm saying? So it makes her happy. You'll be surprised that at the things that people find funny. You'll be surprised. You know, so and it's unfortunate because they say he's a truck driver now. He's off living his life. You know, he probably don't think much about this situation. He probably pin other women against each other. This is a norm for him. This is a norm for him. But I will say this, woman, you know, out there that, you know, to any woman out there that have been through a similar situation like this, let me tell you something. I once remember someone telling me a story. Long story short, and she was saying how she was married to a guy, right? An N-word. And, you know, long story short, he used to play the field. He used to put his hands on her, you know, and stuff like that. And, you know, she was always told, when you're going to leave a man, never tell him. So she ended up packing up all her things, her children's things and stuff like that. And she left when he was going to work, right? Long story short, time went on, her kids got grown, you know, and things like that. I want to say by the time he was in his 70s, he ended up getting real sick. She ended up marrying again, was happy, you know, and things like that. And long story short, she received a phone call one day, years and years and decades later, that he had passed away, right? And he was such a horrible person that nobody wanted to bury him. They just wanted, you know, the money that came with him, the little money he had that really could have been used for his burial, you know. But, you know, he was so twisted and demonic and stuff, and so full of different personalities, that he had more than one social security number. So it was hard for people to, you know, get his affairs in order and stuff like that. And, you know, so long story short, he was sitting up on ice for quite some time. So they ended up calling her because they didn't know who else could take care of it. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, some time went by and she ended up having to send her children up there to handle the affairs. But of course, they didn't appreciate how he treated his mom, so they didn't want to do it either. So, you know, in fact, one of them said, let the state bury him. That's how horrible he was. You know, so long story short, a lot of the times, more of the story really, if it makes y'all feel better, you know, these guys are out here playing the field and with this woman, that woman, and they out here doing stuff they ain't got no business doing. And then in old age, if it make you feel any better, they could end up just like him. Ain't shit. And I hate to say it, he died alone. You see what I'm saying? You know, All the women you done ran throughout the years, ain't no now one of them want to be bothered. Your own family didn't want to be bothered. Not even your sons, your daughters, definitely not your granddaughters, you know. So, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of the times these guys out here, they out here, they having fun. They're not thinking about long term, that when they get older, you know, they're going to need somebody to change their stinking ass diapers. You see what I'm saying? You could have stayed with her, you know, and you could have had a good woman. You see what I'm saying? You know, she ended up marrying again, and she ended up holding her husband's hand until he actually took his last breath. You could have been comfortable in a nice home, you know, propped up with a praying woman. She praying over you until you take your last breath, but you wanted to be out here running amok. And to this day, even in death, is still effing, you know. But nonetheless, if that makes you feel better, you know, I like to hear stories like that. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because a lot of people ain't shit. And sometimes you need people to remind you that it's all right. It's gonna be all right in the end. But nonetheless, I hope Sabrina Greenlee, I looked at her social media. I'm just gonna be honest. She looked like she doing pretty good. She looked like she doing better than Savannah, if I'm gonna be honest with you. She do. We all know her son is pro, so he got a piece of change. And she looked good. She looked like she living a good life. You know, I believe she was wild back in the day. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I believe that situation calmed her down. I'm just going to be honest with you. But she looked like she living a good life. I'm going to just be honest with you. Hey, we all did some shit we ain't proud of. So I don't know neither one of them. So, you know, I don't know who am I to say is somebody a bad person or not. Unless, you know, like the Chinese restaurant, an N-word, I believe he's a bad person. But nonetheless, you know, hey, you know, the person, the example that I just gave with the guy, you know, needed somebody to burn him, he was a bad person. So, you know, it is what it is. You know what's funny? You know how people say, I'm going to say this and I'm gone. You know how people say, you know, kids can pick up on spirits? Once upon a time, this person told me when I was little that he said something to me, and I told him that I was going to cut him. Ain't it? I said, what? And she said, yeah, you told him you was going to cut him. I said, how old was I? She said, you was 3. I said, wow. It you know, hey, he was, you know, kids can pick up on some bad spirits now. But nonetheless, yeah, y'all, I told y'all how I felt. Now I'm gone.